Namaste, Power Crew. Welcome to the Power Play Podcast. I'm with my boy Kevin here.
What up? What up? This is
How you
dope,
doing, man?
Can you see me smiling?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Living your best life.
Pretty much, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like you, man.
Hey, dude. I've known you forever, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go back, like, how many years do you think it's been?
You know what? I was trying to think about that today. I don't know, how old are you?
I'm 31.
So I'm 41, 10 years, and I think we started, you were training at the Bulker Gym, right?
No, I never trained there. I was training at, I started at LA Fitness, Ventura,
Yeah.
and then Channel Islands 24.
Is that where we met you at? I thought
Yeah.
you were at another gym, too, though.
I'm pretty sure Channel Islands 24
Okay.
is where it all
Yeah,
started.
That's where you met, yeah. But I remember you and
Yeah.
your dad were being there, like, getting after it. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And then I bumped into you at, I seen you at the Fit Expo.
Oh, yeah.
But I knew you guys always got your money. You know what I mean? In the gym, you weren't there just
Oh yeah,
playing around.
I was
you
always
know?
serious. You know, I always
Yeah.
took my training serious, even from the very beginning. When I didn't really know what I was doing, I've always taken that very serious.
You always look like you knew what you're doing. So.
Yeah.
and also that your pops too, like to see. You know, I got a son, and he's 15 now, but he was young at the time. And,
Yeah.
And you could tell just by the relationship that you guys had. You know, I'm sure that'd probably be a relationship that most fathers and hope they have with their kid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
That was more that I picked up too. The vibe. You know what I'm saying? You could just see it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if your dad's your spotter, bro, I mean that's like your spotter in life, right?
Hey,
And
I
then
mean,
to
it
be
was
your training partner.
I mean, it's pretty legit. We don't train together anymore, but I definitely do think about those times back then, like how like lucky I was.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that-
to
that
be able
stood
to
out
have that.
to me. You know?
Yeah, because not a lot of people have that kind of relationship with their parents.
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So to see it, like right now, my kid's 15, and I'm like, come on, man. And he doesn't really want to. I'm trying to train him at the gym. He did basketball. You know, the LA Fitness in Channel Islands where it has a basketball court.
Yeah.
So he was going. He wanted to get signed up, and then like he just switched up and wanted just to play hoops all day. And I try to teach him some training styles, and
Yeah.
it just seems like when I'm telling him how to train, he's got another way of going about it. But I'm like, your dad, you know, used to be a trainer. I got these muscles. Like I know what I'm doing, but
Yeah, you know what's funny about that is, like my dad didn't get me into it. Like I wanted to do it on my own, and then I approached him because I knew he was working out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I bought this magazine that said like gain 30 pounds of muscle in 3 months, and this is when I was like super skinny. You remember back then
Yeah,
when I was really
yeah.
skinny? And I'm like, I want to do this.
But you were skinny when I seen you. You were. I don't mean to cut you off. You were skinny, but you could tell you had muscle. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Yeah, because at that point I was already training for well over a year. Because you didn't know me at LA Fitness when I first started, and I had like zero muscle,
Yeah.
zero.
What did you win?
anything.
You told me, Mr. Can we say that?
Yeah, it was
Mr. Puniverse.
Yeah,
or
it was
something?
Mr. Puniverse at the Olympia Expos.
Yeah.
They had this thing called Mr. Puniverse, and I think the requirement was you have to be under 150 pounds.
Yeah.
And
And how old were you?
shit, I was probably like 22, maybe. I was
Yeah.
I was pretty young, you know. But I literally almost won. Almost.
I thought you won.
No,
Huh?
because what
Was
happened?
somebody punier?
Well, see what see, it's a funny story, but I'm convinced the reason the guy won was because his underwear were baggier.
Baggy underoos.
Like, you know, like I had like regular like boxer briefs because
Yeah.
like, you know, you were posing on stage and they were showing off your
And
physique.
did you sign up or it was just day of?
It was day of, like they're asking for volunteers from the audience,
Yeah.
and my dad talked me into doing it. And so what happened was like I was on there. I was definitely the most puny guy at the time, but at the last minute, this other guy came on stage, and it was the guy with the baggy underwear.
droopy draws.
Yeah, and so like what happened was he just looked more puny because his underwear were so baggy, and he ended up winning.
Wow.
But I almost won.
They were like sagging in the wind. Just
Yeah,
the wind blows and his
exact-
underwear just keep on rolling.
Exactly. So unfortunately, you know, that was my one chance of winning at bodybuilding, and I didn't win. So
Yeah, that's where once I seen you at the expo.
Yeah.
That's when I approached you. I think at the gym because
Yeah.
I seen you guys across the way.
right.
And I was like, yeah, that's dude from the gym.
Yeah.
And again, for me, like I started going to that Fit Expo when it used to be in Pasadena, the
Mm-hmm.
bodybuilding days when it wasn't all kinds of different types of.
Right,
It was just bodybuilding.
Pure fitness,
Yeah.
pure bodybuilding. Now it's more like general fitness now.
Yeah, I think fitness is across the board, though. I mean, it's smart for the industry as far as
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
exercise and supplements and athleticism. You know, there's a lot
For
that goes
sure.
on there. Karate. I mean, the Arnold that I watch on a lot of the shows because
Yeah.
I started training when Ronnie Coleman was winning like his first Olympia.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a different breed of bodybuilder than there is now.
For
and it was
sure.
just big guys, as to now they have like the 212 and under.
Yeah.
And you have like it was just like bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, maybe something else. But now you have like figure, you have fitness, you have
Yeah.
all these different other genres of working out, CrossFitters, karate. But I know
Right.
that the Arnold looks more like that. You
It
know?
does. Yeah. Have you ever been to the Arnold?
No, just virtually.
Yeah, I've been there one time.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing is huge. It's crazy.
I heard it's bigger than the Olympia. I've been to
Oh.
the Olympia like 3 times.
I would say it's definitely bigger than the Olympia because they have all these different like halls that do all the karate and all the other kind of fitness stuff that the Olympia doesn't have that stuff.
No, it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
just bodybuilding. But that's the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. So maybe
It
that's
is.
why, you know,
Yeah.
that's where it comes together. Because when I started training, it was like that because there was an Ironman was the contest that was in
Right.
Pasadena.
Hey, I think I went to that.
Yeah, that was the one. It was like
before.
off of Orange Blossom. I was like, as
Yeah.
far as I went, I was like 19 or 20 or
Yeah,
something.
I've
and I
been
was
to
like
the
leaving Ventura
Ironman,
County.
yeah.
And I remember it was like Orange Blossom, but I'm about to meet like Jay Cutler. You could walk up to their booths, like,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, getting signed DVDs from him, Chris Cormier, and stuff like that. But then you see again what the industry is. You know, we're in business, right? Me and you.
Yeah.
So we understand what's good for branding, what's good for the,
Right.
the industry. So for them to go that big is great. You know, I mean, I don't know how you judge a bunch of 5'2" from a 5'2.5".
Right.
But it's got to be a cool job to sit there and, you know, judge chicks for 2 hours to get through
know.
it. But when I seen you there, I knew you were serious. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I knew that's when I started chopping up with you and your pops more. It was like you find a common ground to start conversation.
Yeah.
So I just felt like once I seen you guys there, I could come up to at the gym and be like, hey, you know, I see
Hey,
you
I
guys
saw you
getting
at
it.
the, yeah, because it's like you don't see everyone because there's like different levels of people at the gym, especially those kind of like corporate gyms like 24
Yeah.
and LA
Well, those are more like
Fitness and
a
stuff.
fitness center, though.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. So you get all kinds of people that go to those kind of gyms.
Right.
From people that are like super serious to people that are just kind of like dipping their toe and they just want to do the classes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you get the full range.
That's why I think they put the cardio like a 24-hour downstairs.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
the females, I call it the lion's den. You don't want to go across the lion's den. That's where the big dogs are working at it, right? And when they go by and every dude's staring at Chucky Buns.
Hey, you know,
So, yeah, they
the
can
guys,
get-
the guys are fucking thirsty these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you're coming in, testosterone's big, but these
Yeah.
females, like, I think, are a little self-conscious anyway to make their
Yeah.
way across to the shower or to the bathroom, change into their
Right.
their apparel, get to the classes.
Yeah.
They don't have to go through all of that to get there. So
Hey,
that's why they leveled there, and then upstairs is where you hear the they don't ever have to go up there and look at the weights. They could just stay down there, get their
Hey.
cardio, and take off.
That's true, and that was before like fitness was big with women.
Yeah.
Because now you see a lot of women getting it good.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
they're lifting weights
Dude.
heavier than a lot of guys.
See that
dude.
Cole's gym?
Dude, for real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I like that atmosphere. I don't mind it. You know, a little
Yeah.
crowd and some hard bodies and some bombshells. You know, the ladies that
Right.
you know, that's what they call it. You know, that class of them of training, and
Yeah.
they don't wear sweaters wrapped around them, and it just that mixed in with a couple
Yeah.
of big monsters.
Yeah.
For me, I like that atmosphere. What about you?
Well, I mean, seeing a lot of people that are fit and getting it is always motivating.
Right.
It
well,
is.
That brings it back to you. So when I seen that you guys get your money and then I see you at the expo,
Yeah.
that's where the mutual respect comes into these cats is grinding. Their family
Right.
son team. Like, we could cuss on here?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fucks with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, that's what I
for
mean
sure.
by, you know, that's what cat, like you say, you see cats getting it. And I think encouragement is so important. That's how
Oh,
we met,
yeah.
right? Because if you don't go over and tell another dude, hey, you know, hey, you getting your money, player. Or,
Yeah.
or you think if you're doing 45s and I'm stuck at the 30s, I'm going to try to, it's a
Can you do
contest. You
more?
don't even know it.
Yeah.
It's a competition right now.
Yeah,
So
no,
to-
that's a thing for sure because you see other people pushing harder. You're like, well, maybe I'm not pushing hard enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I got 10 more percent. I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
I trained at Gold's in Venice before I went to a
never been there
showdown there.
before.
Dude, it's great. Not the one on the beach. I trained there, but the one.
No,
that-
the Mecca.
Yeah, the Mecca,
The
the one
Mecca,
in
yeah.
Culver City there. And
Yeah.
I'm training next to oh God, what's his name? Melvin Anthony.
Oh,
and a couple other
crazy.
big dudes, and you got all these pictures up on the wall.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I lifted the heaviest in my life, dude. I did
Yeah.
like bent over rows with like
Got the energy.
285.
You got all that energy going through
'cause
you.
we went to the NPC show that was right there in Culver City. I used to go to those same because the NPC
Yeah.
shows will get you to the pro.
Yeah, I know
went
those
there.
shows, yeah.
And plus it motivates you, man. Like you see it, like I think you come in and put another good hard 30 days at the gym by seeing.
Oh,
by
dude.
seeing that, right?
I would always feel more motivated and more hitting my workouts harder after the expos when I would go to them.
Right?
You know,
You just come in, yeah.
Because you see all these fit people. It's like a concentration of extremely fit people. That there's fit people at the gym. Don't get me wrong, but this is like the concentration of like all the super fit ones.
Right.
You know.
And it just kind of takes you to a level, especially when you see guys you see in back in my day again, magazines more than
Yeah.
you didn't have social networking as much. You
Yeah,
know?
it's the same thing,
But when
though.
you see these cats, you like I'm working out by Melvin Anthony.
Yeah.
And there's pictures of Arnold on the wall. So I just grabbed that, bent over, and I remember we went to that show that night, bro, and I was trying to clap, and my forearms like locked
Too
up.
pumped.
Yeah, I was so sore, dog, that the forearm just like clacked. Oh my god.
Yeah,
But,
those guys go. Those guys.
But that
go
mentality
hard. Yeah.
of how you're going to up your game and act like you point to that is that you see people next to you going hard, you're going to give a little bit more. It's like a natural, tell
Definitely.
people it's a natural steroid. Like, is she looking? Better make sure I'm showing off. And this cat over here is
Better
stronger.
show.
Yeah, I got to make sure he
Yeah.
ain't whooping me. And if he does, I'm going to give it my all. So it is,
Hey.
because physical and mental is a big part of training.
It's true, and you know what? I heard that the women find it attractive.
The women who?
The women find that attractive.
What, checking them out?
No, like the pushing harder because like you're noticing them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean.
Oh,
Like
yeah, for sure.
that's what I heard from because I ask questions a lot. So
Well, you
'cause
also-
I wanted to know like, is the grunting does it work? To tract? And,
Yeah.
and it does apparently.
Oh, dude,
It's crazy.
This dude right now before I left, you hear one of my videos. This dude was grunting so loud at the gym doing these bench pressing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was looking. He was doing 1 rep.
Was he strong?
Nah, it was a 45 with a 5-pounder on the side.
See,
But it was just super loud. Like it wasn't a
Yeah.
grunt, bro. This dude
It was like a yell.
like he was getting stabbed or something, man.
It's
It
so
was
funny.
crazy.
Like I literally do the opposite. I try to stay as silent as possible these days.
Just kind of just push. And
Yeah, I
show
just-
that like you could do it with.
Well, my thing is I wanted to make it look like I'm not even trying.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, hey, I'm not even trying right now.
So who was your favorite? Like who did you kind of get inspiration from? From anybody that you seen that was like, oh, that's my favorite.
Like back in the day from like the bodybuilders and
Yeah,
stuff.
when you started training, is there somebody that you were like, man, that's
Let me think. Because I was always like, I would always see all these big dudes in the magazines and stuff. And I just knew my genetics were just not that. They just were not that. I met, who did I meet? Which bodybuilders did I meet? Jay Cutler. That dude's like, these guys are like crazy big in real life. I saw Ronnie Coleman in real life. That dude is like a big fucker. For
you can't-
real.
So Jay Cutler's calves were like, is that real? That's what I thought when I seen him walking by me in that Fit Expo.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw him a couple years ago at one of the expos, and this is like he's not competing anymore. He's retired, but that dude's still big.
yeah, man.
he's
you
like legit.
You can't lose at all.
No,
but
he
he
looks-
think it was at about 285 to 300 though when he was.
Yeah, I
competing.
personally think he looks better now. As far as like a more fit physique, like the other, it's just like it's really big. That's not even really sustainable.
Yeah, no, you
to be
can't.
that big, it's really not. It's probably not healthy anyways.
It'd
To
probably
be
be good
honest,
for your cardiovascular.
yeah, you're
training.
legit obese.
Yeah.
Like technically.
So I'm going back to become a personal trainer again,
Yeah.
and I'm going through that's what they're talking about in this last course I was watching last night for the
Oh,
module.
yeah.
Is the importance of being fit and healthy isn't the same.
No, it's
So
not.
this morning I was on the elliptical and I'm trying to break up my anaerobic training. I mean
Yeah.
my aerobic training. Anaerobic is more muscle.
Yeah,
And-
you're
and-
doing real cardio. I never
yeah.
do cardio.
So I was like but see that's the thing about you having a leaner physique.
Yeah.
You don't have to do as much cardio.
No,
as
I
I look at food and I gain weight.
Yeah, we have the opposite problem, man. It's
Yeah.
like it's harder for me to put on muscle, but I don't have to do as much cardio.
But as a trainer, I know that that's true because the guys, when I was working at Hollywood Fitness before I got out of training there because everything was going like in-house training, that guys I had more guy clients because the female, they've seen how big I was and
Yeah.
they needed to get over that hump of, I want to get bigger like you, as
Right.
opposed to people that are losing weight. It's harder
Yeah.
for you guys to put lean on. You guys can eat all the burritos you guys
No,
want.
it
Get
is, and like to put on like real quality muscle, it's not easy.
No,
It's really
it takes
not.
years.
It really does.
You got to put on like 10 to say 5 or something. You know what
No,
I mean?
it's true because like some fat's gonna be involved, so you gotta like put on a little fat and get used to it. Get a little chubby, get that moon face going.
Yeah. Yeah,
Do it over winter. That's
Yeah,
what
man,
people.
that's what I say. I tell
Yeah.
people you got to put on about 10.
Yeah.
And then you do your cardio, but because you're only going to retain so much.
No, it's
when
true.
When you're bulking, you
Yeah.
don't bulk. You can't. Just almost like losing weight. You can't just lose 20 pounds in
No,
a month and then
that's
call
why
that healthy. You know?
exactly. That's why going on these like crazy hard bulks is stupid because like that's so much more fat you got to cut.
Yeah. And if your body can't, we acclimate.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
You don't
yeah.
just get that big and your knees and your bones and your heart could put, if you're
Right.
gradually, people don't think about 20 years of putting in work.
Yeah.
I'm 41. My arms are like 17 and a half.
Right, but that took you.
But
so
I was
long.
a fat kid,
Yeah.
so I had some meat, some beef.
Yeah.
But that's years of laying foundation and
Right.
putting it in, you know?
Yeah, because like for me, I don't gain. I haven't really done any huge jumps in weight. It's just been a slow increase over the years. I think the biggest gains I ever made was when I first started. To be honest, I think I put on like 20 pounds like in the first year or something like that.
Yeah.
But I never made gains like that after. It was always like real slow.
But
And
that's just, I think, your body type. You know,
Yeah.
Enzo Morse and F Morse,
Yeah,
different Morse
and
that you
people
have.
say they gain like 20 pounds in a year. I'm like, consistently. I'm like, dude, I don't even know how it's possible.
They got to be. I know there's mass gainers and weight gainers and
But
stuff.
still,
but
like
it's
my
still a
weight
lot, bro.
doesn't fluctuate like that. I've been honestly, my weight's been pretty static for quite a while.
Yeah, but you're swole, player. That's your
Yeah.
nickname on your phone. I tried to find Patrick on, and I was like, "Where's his name?"
Yeah.
And then it was under swole.
Hey,
man.
I just have
So I always had you down as swole, player.
well, because I look lean. I mean, I'm lean, so I look bigger than I am.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
it
Because
is.
like you legit look bigger than you are when you're lean. It's just don't put you next to a big guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man. A guy told me that was training with if I lost. My lowest was like 183,
Oh, really?
Kind of small, yeah. But when I get to about 200, let's save this to our draft right there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
We're
all
gonna
good, man.
Record a second one. Keep
It only
going.
gives you a limit of what,
15 minutes. So
Oh,
we'll keep it
shit.
going.
Okay,
Well, at least
no
we know
worries.
too where we're at too.
Hey,
so I don't know
yeah.
how long you like to go for.
Oh, I don't know. Usually
But-
it goes for about an hour. I don't really time it. I just kind of just roll.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we can get through a few topics.
Yeah.
About this, but then how this translates into business. I like to get.
Right.
I like to speak with you on a positive vibe of growth because I think discipline and training and business kind of go hand in hand.
Oh,
You know what I
dude.
mean, the sacrifices and disciplines.
I mean, honestly, I would say training bodybuilding changed my life because the discipline I learned from bodybuilding, I pretty much apply to everything that I do now. And now with the whole yoga stuff I'm into, now I apply the bodybuilding and yoga mindset into all the stuff I do. So it's just kind of like adding these new practices that make my life just roll better.
Yeah.
Just, but like that discipline, it's hard to learn that discipline unless you get into some kind of like martial art, bodybuilding, something that takes very like consistency and time.
And you versus you. I
Yeah.
didn't do a lot of sports like football.
Yeah, I'm
baseball.
not into sports
Yeah,
personally.
you can't yell at me. I got a problem with authority. I got kicked off of teams as a kid, but I had a little anger issues because of my background growing up. But
Right.
I know that I fish, bodyboard, surfing sports.
Yeah, you like solo sports.
Yeah, solo sports.
Totally.
me versus me,
I
and
get it.
same
I'm the
with-
same way.
But I think bodybuilding, boxing, that kind of workout, karate, like you're talking about, though,
Yeah.
that you do, that isolation and you versus you, it's going to, because when you get into business, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
lonely,
It is.
you
It
have an
really
emotional
is.
roller coaster. You're
Yeah.
trying to get over humps. There's just dedications. And, I think pre-making your meals and planning is just as important as how you structure your business plan. Just, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no,
how
totally.
it transitions those little rituals.
Dude, it's I would say, and the more I'm thinking about it right now, the more it makes sense that how similar they are because you don't make gains overnight. You don't get big overnight.
Right.
Same with business. You don't make any gains for years a lot of the times, like
Right.
any like real gains at least.
Right. That's what we're just talking about. Like,
Yeah.
You can't just put on 20 pounds,
No.
lose 20 pounds real quick and have
It's-
it be sustainable,
It's not. They say it takes 5 to 10 years
Yeah.
to really get something legit.
Yep.
Most people quit long before that.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
9 months, if that.
Same with fitness, though. If you think about how many people start their fitness journey in the new year, how long do they last?
Right. Because they want instant gratification. They
Instant
want
gra-
that. They want
yeah.
that. As a trainer too, I hear these stories, and when you do an assessment, and the body that they want
Yeah.
from 17 years old, you've gave up on that 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
A while ago. This is your 15th New Year's resolution. So
Right.
that's why maybe you might need a little trainer. And I use that same aspect on now that I'm business to
Yeah.
find those specialists to help me with my budget, my accounting, legalities,
It's
the
true.
small business development center, those mentors, trainers,
Mentors
what
are
it
good.
takes. But, you might need that for fitness as far as knowing your nutrition, your micros and macros
Yeah.
too. There's just different, components that you need as your level of growth that might not be there day one. But if you are competing or you want to get into you're getting married and you want to look a certain way, or you got a
Yeah.
vacation where you need to tweak it to get your optimal result, but you don't know all those ins and outs. The heck with going to the internet and just trying to do it yourself. If
Right.
you get those specialists to help you along the way, you're going to business. And I think that's where some people stop.
Yeah.
Because they want to do their own books, they want to do their own
Right.
work. They don't want to put in a month, to go to a seminar or a luncheon and sit in and learn
Yeah.
these things that you do.
Yeah. I mean, what you really want to learn is people's mindsets. It's not necessarily the information. The mindset is what I try to get from other people, like the way they think. Because the information's the information. You can get that information a lot of ways, but the way they think
Yeah.
is what's important.
Yeah.
That's why I love reading books because you get to really see like in the mind of those kind of people that wrote the book.
Yeah.
So you pretty much download their mind into your mind,
And it's
which I love.
It's just like I tell you, I brainwash myself. I listen to a lot of audiobooks because of my job
Same
that I
here.
do have. So he calls it the guy Jim Rohn that I started listening to first about and he would talk about it's about the philosophy mindset.
Yeah.
Is how what you're dumping into your thinking, this thinking machine all
it's
day.
huge, yeah.
If you start pouring that in first thing in the morning, no matter it's a book, something, YouTube, something, but if
Yeah.
you start feeding your mind food, the right type of foods like that, it's just as healthy as. That's how you're gonna get your mindset, but again, it's just
Right.
as healthy as your nutrition
Well, it's
for
true.
training.
Yeah, because it's like you definitely want to always get yourself in a positive mindset because like your perception is your reality. So
That's
if you
it.
think everyone's awesome, then everyone you see is amazing.
You ever seen there's this I'm looking at your pineapples.
Yeah, I love pineapples.
Yeah, man. So SpongeBob lives on a pineapple, right?
Yeah.
So there's this one of his movies, and his brain, dude, is freaking it's cotton candy.
Right.
So Plankton tries to break into his brain to get the Krabby Patty formula, and his mind, it just shows you that all he thinks about is gumdrops and candy, showing like his mind is he's so
that's
oblivious
his perception.
to it, right.
Yeah.
And Clayton couldn't take it, like, get me out of this brain. But I was telling my kids and people watching, like, you don't see the metaphor up there? Like, his mind is just so positive that you can't piss SpongeBob off, man. He's goofy, but they're showing you inside of his brain where he's just it's just gumdrops and rainbows and stuff.
Yeah, because I think about that kind of stuff all the time, because you see such polarity these days with politics and all that. People's mindset is they're so polar opposite, and we're living in the same reality. You know what I mean? Right. Like, we literally are living in the same reality, but our worldviews are so different.
Yep.
Like, I think life's amazing. Some people may think life is terrible, but we're living in the same worldview. To me, it's very interesting.
We're looking out of a window, right? At a sunset. Some people are going to notice the spots on the window.
Right.
Some people are going to notice the sunset, bro.
Yeah. You gotta pay attention. You gotta, basically have a lot of gratitude, appreciate the things that you do have, instead of crapping on the things that you don't have.
And I think getting yourself up, doing what you like to do. If you're stuck in a job where you're not happy or where you're not getting satisfaction out of your day, that's where you might need to do some self-inventory as well.
Well, it's true.
It's not like we just woke up one day and said, like we had to gradually, something came in, a day of disgust, or something came in to say, I'd rather live this way, whether it's, something happened along either our childhood or somewhere that put it. So I grew up with a crazy childhood, but I use that to propel me into saying, there's got to be a better thing than what I'm going through.
Oh, for sure.
As opposed to like, this is all there is. Like, I wanted to find a better worldview. I wanted to see the world through a colored stone that was the one that I'm envisioning in my brain. You know what I'm saying? And not let my circumstance prevent me from getting there. You got to, and that's where those books and stuff come in, because by seeing, I don't know about the books you read, but the ones I do, it seems like a lot of successful people, or just the way it is, they came from something,
Right.
It's like a strawberry, I say in when I do my speaking, I'm learning, is, strawberry, we live in Oxnard. Yeah. And that field, you work right by the fields. Yeah. It could smell like manure. Oh, it's all dirty. For sure. But the farmer already sees down the way that what it's going to look like. But he has, again, his people coming in, his people that till the dirt. Then he has people put his insecticides and putting on his herbicides, and then somebody picks them, and then somebody puts them on a forklift, and somebody takes them and gets it processed to this beautiful, tasty little strawberry. But it started out in a pile that smelled like poo, a dirt, on an open field. I'm like, what is that? What are you seeing over there?
You know what's even more crazy that I think about all the time is, like, what does a thing of strawberries go for these days?
Man, I usually get them on the side of the road. You get a flat for like $10.
Okay, I mean, what I find crazy, man, is like, for $10, all that work that went into a thing that's only $10.
Right.
Like, that's fucking crazy. It really is.
But if you multiply that by your acreage in your real estate.
No, I know, but it's like, to me, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To the consumer? Like, you can get like when you go to the store, for example, and you get like a can of beans for like 88 cents. You're like, you know how much effort went into getting these beans to you?
Yeah. I think about that because we live in an agriculture area.
Yeah.
So that's why it made me think about the size of the lot. Because you're like, man, if you're selling it for 89 cents, that means the market got to be about 49 cents. And to put all that money into resources to make 89 cents a pound, there got to be 1 billion pounds out there to make a profit.
Like, they're making like 20 cents, 25 cents per can, but they're still very profitable. It's pretty nuts.
It's got to be a way where it's being shipped somewhere or doing something. But I've had that same thought thinking, how does 39 cents cilantro, how many acres do you need?
You'll get like a banana. A banana is like, 10 cents a pound or something crazy. That thing comes from like all the way across the world.
Yeah. And it's to our port.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, Port Hueneme. It's like really big for the bananas.
So you know what I heard? I took a leadership academy, and we stopped there, and what they said, the important thing is that when the ship leaves, it leaves with cargo. So
that makes
because
sense.
the empty ship doesn't make any money, so when they're bringing in theirs, that's when you ship the citrus. Yeah, so at least it's
that makes sense.
It's a swap too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because there's parts of the country or the world that might not get what we are. Of course. Like Florida orange juice is Valencia oranges. That's California, but it says Florida.
Right.
So it's a trip how it works. But the way that they do business, because you can't manufacture it in Ventura County. There's not an area to manufacture. You could pick it,
right,
and you could cargo it, but you can't make it into tomato sauce with all the tomatoes. You can't make the juice here.
Right.
You have to send it to Florida to make it and then ship it back to us as a juice.
That's interesting.
So somewhere when they were doing them handshakes in the 20s of how to keep the global market going, that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way to play monopoly in business. You're trading. I mean, they traded for shells back in the day, man. Right. So I guess if you could trade for beans and strawberries, as long as the commerce is in circulation,
Well,
that's
yeah.
how the money stays in circulation.
Well, because
you
it's
know?
all about circulation. The economy needs circulation
Right.
at the end of the day, because everyone's holding on to their money like it's not good for the economy.
Right. And we need, we need stuff. You need milk for your cereal. You need the
Right.
whole grains for your cereal. So,
Well, we don't need it. We want these things.
well, I'm saying, but
to be
to
honest.
get it on your table,
Yeah.
though, you got to go through what all that takes. If you were to try to go milk your own cow, to
Oh,
get,
yeah,
to get
no
your
one's
stuff,
gonna-
you know.
Dude,
So-
if people had to like kill their own animals, milk their own cows,
I kill fish. Does that count?
no, that's different, you know. But like, if you had to go slaughter a pig, you know, to eat, like,
Yeah, we lost our caveman instinct, I think.
well, yeah, it just people just don't realize like what it really takes
Yeah.
to get a package of meat or you know any other item.
It's not just like walking into the.
Dude, if people had to do the real manual labor, you know, a lot of people would probably be dead.
Yeah, you.
They probably would. They'd probably starve.
Maybe that's why they weaned out the strongest, of the fittest back in the day. Now
Yeah.
everybody's a little bit more overweight, but
Well, that's why you know we're as technology gets better, we become almost like weaker.
yeah, you think?
I think so. We become mentally stronger somewhat, but we also become weaker at the same time because we don't think about how many people just like sit around all day.
Yeah, it's we
you
like
know?
we like this thing. One of the books I read, the Mark Cuban, is that makes sense. What you're on the line you're talking
Yeah.
about is we do like the least path
Path
to
of
resistance.
Yeah, no, that's just how we
yeah,
operate. It's like the easiest thing we're gonna do. That's why being lazy is so easy.
Well, that's why people though that that you see in our society now about the people that are down.
Yeah.
More people that forgot when they were hippies, and their grandparents told them that the TV was going to rot their brain,
It's
and radio.
it is gonna rot your brain.
Right, but now
Yeah.
they're saying that these devices are rotting your brain, but all you're doing is turning into your grandfather
Yeah.
that was waving his finger at you when went from the typewriter to the computer
But that's
to the convenience. But we like the convenience, though we really do.
But that's because they know, because anyone knows that anything that's instantly pleasurable is bad.
But I'm saying, we know
Yeah.
that, but we still do like our convenience.
Well, I know because we're addicted to the dopamine.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Because but when you follow pleasure, that's very heathenistic, as they say.
Yeah.
And it just decays you. Think about people that just do everything that just purely based off pleasure. Because getting in the gym and doing cardio is not pleasurable.
Starting your own business.
Starting your own business is not pleasurable.
Well, I guess somebody said that's why I always need employees. There'll always be employees, and
Well, yeah.
I think it's a philosophy, man, that. Because I was going to ask you this question, like, so where did your mindset go? And the reason where you got your mindset to do this,
Yeah.
is because I think this is it's a traditional thing. It's just a different product right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that philosophy of success in business, you could date back to the early days. No
Yeah.
matter what it was, it's just that the discipline that you have to go into business. You know what I mean? Commerce has been around since they were
Yeah.
trading furs and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not like the recipe has changed. It's just who's filling that need. But what got you to grind this hard, man?
Well, because I always know that good things come in time. Good things always come in time. Nothing worth doing happens overnight. So that's why everything I know that I'm doing today, stuff that I've done like 5 years ago is finally starting to pay off today.
Right.
Like no joke.
Just like that strawberry.
Yeah.
You've seen it in the dirt.
So I've always
now it's sprouting.
So I've always known, because I learned that from bodybuilding. That's why I was saying like bodybuilding had such a huge impact in my life, because I saw when you put in the work, like you didn't get instant results, but I still put in the work anyways, and then I was starting to get results, and it also boosted my confidence. It had a lot of positive, effects on my life. To be honest, when you get in better shape, you get more positive attention. When you get more positive attention, it boosts your confidence. So it's like a cool like cycle. You know what I mean? So I was at least smart enough to identify that I can take what I learned there and apply it to other parts of my life instead of just being just a meathead. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm always like, don't skip brain day.
Yeah,
because
that was a good one, man. I haven't used that yet.
Dude, you got to start talking about that,
Yeah.
because I'm really big on training your brain, because the way I look at it is, most people spend 1 to 2 hours a day in the gym, the ones that are serious about it, a day. But it's like, you're going to spend that much time in the gym and you're going to neglect your brain and like other parts of your life. You got to put that same amount of effort into making yourself better as a person, like all around, because you don't want to just be shallow. The bodybuilding stuff can be very shallow. It's like, I just want to look good, which is nothing wrong with that. But you want to have some substance to also. You want to be interesting. You want to have other things to offer besides just being a jack.
You don't want to be just a one.
Well, you don't want to be just like a really huge in shape guy or just a really fit girl. You want to have more stuff to offer people, because it's all about adding value to people's life. And being attractive is not adding value. It's not. That gets your foot in the door. Then once your foot's in the door, you can show the world how much value you have.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, become as attractive as possible, but don't just rely on that, because that's very short-lived. It really is. Like, you have like a small window of opportunity where you're going to be your most attractive. Then your looks decay. Like that's just reality. So if you didn't train your brain or anything like that, then you just lost everything.
Yeah, because you got more years that you're going to get, that's not going to be your full passion.
You're going to be uglier.
You're going to be all Al Bundy, always talking about your 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, you don't want to be like looking back. You don't want to be like, oh, I used to do this, and just like reminiscing about the good times instead of all the good things that you're doing now. Like things change over time. Your goals change over time. Maybe you wanted to be, 3% body fat at one point, but now you want to make 6 figures or something. You know what I mean? Like your goals change.
Mine are changing right now. And what you talk about, I know when I send my emails out with our new press kit, I make sure that I put that in there. You're 100% right now, man, because I put when I talk to my potential partners and for the TV show, that we build a value, and that's what I try to say. How do I build a value for you? How do we work together?
Yeah.
How do we dance together?
Yes.
Sure, my charisma on screen for Rollinger's Fishing Show is, smiling delightful. But how do I build a value? How do we have a partnership, a long-term sustainability?
Exactly.
And that's what you got to think about. How do I serve you? How do I, make, be profitable for you? But I want to bring a value. I used to come in, hey, I got a video camera, I'm on television. Let me, working at it. And I might have rubbed some people the wrong way because I didn't know though. I was so fresh in the business.
Yeah,
in the
you just didn't know.
I didn't know. I thought, okay, we're just going to trade out. But I ended up trading a lot of my time for it. And it took me a while to say, wait a minute, man, I got to start charging more because I do bring a value now. When I was getting those first repetitions in, and I was starting, we could trade for product, right? And I didn't know. But I could be a little cocky or arrogant because I got the TV show and it's going to go national.
Yeah.
But so there is a humbling experience because I'm at my 9th year, like you said, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it is.
But I tell them in my emails when I send out to them about trying to build a value. It's not just me trying to get your check to advertise your lures. And I try to stay within the confines of the relationships and the companies that I want to work with. So that way they know that it's 100% heartfelt when you see that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And build a value. Like Dickies, I try to send an email to Dickies, right? Because I wear Dickies, you know what I'm saying? And
you only want to.
I want to bring that value. I just don't want your check. I want to build a value, and I want you to see that within me, so that you want to do partnerships for years to come.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. I pretty much literally have the same approach. I actually turn down more things that I do because if I don't think it's going to add value to you, then I don't want to be in the hot seat where you're like, hey, this didn't add value and you took my money. I don't want to do business that way. I like to just show people all the great things that I've done for them. Basically, it's going to be so good that you're going to want me. That's what I do. I was like, I'm going to, knock it out of the park. So good, you're going to definitely want me on your team.
Right.
And I'll earn my keep. I don't need a handout.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'll earn it.
Just let me put some touchdowns on the board for you, man. Come on.
Yeah, I was like, let's just get rolling, and I'm going to show you how amazing it's going to be. Because I know when I do stuff, it's like I don't half-ass anything. It's always my full ass is involved,
Well, that's what I've seen that with you since we started. Remember, we used to have those little, morning breakfasts I try to put together of encouragement. We met a couple of times at that restaurant, but that's when I seen that you had something that was worth investing and building around. I hear the other guys that listening to books, Napoleon Hill about their cabinets, of the people of a circle of influence around them, and I knew that you had that drive. Plus, you were pushing your peanut butter, and you were just on it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to incorporate you into that little circle because I seen that you had that. Then,
hey, but I tell everyone I'm like everyone else. I'm just trying to figure it out.
You're not like everyone else, man. You're like everyone as far that's in your scope of professionalism and grinding. You know what I'm saying? But you're not like everyone else on the planet. But you're
right.
And you know what I'm saying? With your uniqueness of what you want, you want, and I think you put around your everyone is people around you that bring value or that you're going to get some. You just don't associate with everyone.
Well, no. See, that's the thing. I'm a man of the people because I love everyone, and I'm always down to get. You know me. I'm at the gym. I'm talking to everybody. I'm spreading the love. But it's like I am very picky on who I actually spend like real quality time with. Like I'm always going to be spreading love to people like all the time. I'm never going to stop doing that because I love doing it. But the people that really get the real goods, like the real goods, that's like I can count on one hand, because your energy is important. And the reason I'm able to go out there and talk to everyone so much and spread so much love is because I'm very I monitor my energy, like where it's going. Yeah. So if people are like taken away from it, I definitely don't allow them to be in my life. Like I got to cut you off. That way I can be charged up so I can go out there and do it again the next day and the next day. And my goal is to be like every time you see me, I'm always the same. Yeah. Same vibe, same attitude.
Been the same.
Yeah.
Your vibe has been something that it stood out too. You got this. Don't you know? I was listening to the guy today talk about Prince.
Yeah.
And you got that vibe, bro.
Right.
Like you got your style, man, of the way you sport your do.
Yeah.
To your but you know you stay 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I like that too because I try to stay the same urban look. You know.
Well, it's important because because my whole thing is. And I tell people all the time, like, they should do the same thing. It's like you want people to love you for
you got to be authentic, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be a fake because then it just leads to a lot of negative thinking because like, they don't like the real you.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do. I see he get his little vibe on. He felt, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna surprise anybody.
Yeah, because that way you're always the same.
Right.
Like when you show up, you're always the same, and when people like you. Like, not everyone's going to like you, but the ones that do, they like the real you.
They like you for that reason.
Exactly.
You know, like I said, I can fucks with you. Like, homie got, he don't care. You can see he's on a level and he's going to do things just because of the way his swagger is.
Exactly.
You know
because I can interact, because I have a certain style, and I can interact with any kind of person. And it doesn't matter that we don't look the same, because sometimes people try to blend in with, like, what everyone else is doing just to fit in with them. But those people know that guy's being fake or that girl's being fake and phony because it doesn't, like, it looks weird. Like, they look uncomfortable.
Yep. And it's not to say you can't in a certain environment, you know, for myself, if I go somewhere, like, I don't wear my long socks really anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't look like a homie.
Right.
You know,
but that's
I dress down,
yeah.
but I'm in a certain environment, but you're going to get the same.
It's the same you,
You're going to get the same. Yeah. I crack the same jokes. You know, I might watch a few of my F-bombs, but the authenticness of people, because people say, I remember you. And I say, well, I'm kind of unforgettable. Like, I ain't never going to meet a cat like this dude again, you know? And I think that's just important. And
well, that is important.
Authenticity. And when it's funny with my TV show is that, in case you're listening here, I do a real English fishing show, is that the vibe that I had years ago wasn't, two bubbas in a boat on a bass fishing trip or something like that was what was going on. Now the industry is like, we need that California look, And my teacher told me that your look, your muscles, you look like The Rock. You got your tattoos and the music. So when I went to show my TV show to the networks, they wanted that. We're working out the details.
That's awesome, man.
It's starting in January,
That's
man.
cool.
Pursuit Network, 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. You can wake up. But I was at the trip out. I was at the booth for Pursuit Network. They do Discovery, CBS Sports. They do all these Amazon Prime. And he said, Kevin, play some of that music that you got. I'm trying to use his accent, man. If you want to know what this guy looks like, he looks like the coach Nick Saban from college football with that Southern twang.
Yeah.
Kevin, we got two bubbas in a boat. Look it. Play some music for these guys right now. I put my TV show, my brother's music in the back, that California reggae. Yeah. So a little bit of hip hop my boy does, and they're like, nice. Yeah, we want that. So what was not the norm, but was authentic for me, is what the industry is looking for now.
Hey, people like the California vibe.
Oh, they do. And I like a cinematic TV show to where if you push mute, you're gonna be like, they're in Cali.
Right.
You're gonna tell by the background, the scenic that I put in my film,
that
you're gonna know it's a California. You know what I'm saying? And that's
why people pay high dollar to be here.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's true. As much as it sucks sometimes, like we deal with a lot of bullshit, like straight up.
Cali, I ain't leaving.
But it's like, that's why people come here. It's true. That's why people come here.
That stretch, because I do fishing down south, right? We're in Ventura County, and I'll take the PCH on purpose, even if it's longer, because for my brain, I want to see that Santa Monica, that pier, those houses, that PCH. And I put my jams on in that palm tree.
Yeah.
For me, it makes me feel like I'm living the American dream.
Dude, I haven't driven that drive forever.
Dude, I try to get that drive as often as I can.
Do that again. I haven't
you got to do it,
I haven't done it forever, dude.
Because again,
because COVID.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because that's that brain. What do you call it? The food? Would you say the brain?
Brain day.
Yeah.
Don't skip brain day.
Yeah, but that's my brain day. Like when I cruise that scene,
well, it makes sense.
It does things to me to be like, I'm gonna get back on my ground. I come
it's like it's like a meditation. It really is, because you're sitting there. I mean, it's crazy because when we're driving on the freeway, like here in Ventura, you can see the ocean, and I don't even think twice because I've seen it like pretty much every day since because I grew up in this area. But a lot of people don't have that.
We live in the coolest place.
As I'm saying, a lot of people don't have that. So I always have to remind myself that, hey, this is not normal.
I live in Port Hueneme, and a couple things I think about. So Hueneme is the beach right here, and I drive by the beach too. It was like, that's where I go to get my mind right, is the water. That's why I do a TV fishing show. Like, for me, it's a type of therapy, right?
Right.
But that's like the farthest part of the world. Like, that's the Pacific Ocean comes up. What's next? Like Japan?
Yeah.
Like, we're at the coastline
of,
like,
for real.
We're at the edge of the world, bro. I mean, the edge of...
If you look at
of the continent,
yeah,
bro.
if you look out into the ocean, it reminds you how small you are.
Oh, dude, for sure,
it really does.
So for me, man, like all those rituals that we're talking about right now is what helps keep me grounded too. Because the beach, the ocean, I do my prayers right there. seeing God's creation, knowing that,
Yeah, it's crazy.
you know, what are we here to do? So I use that for time as a reflection, you know. So when I'm hitting the PCH, and again, you think people, you know, come from around the world to entertainment capital of the world. These houses are up here. They've got a house that big. How do I get a house that big? I'll be taking their cobwebs out of my regular job, and I'm bopping, meaning like I'm looking like, okay, they had a vision and a dream. Two people had a vision and a dream. Somebody had a vision and a dream that they could build a house like that on the side of a mountain.
Yeah,
I don't know how you got those trucks up here to put it. And
Yeah.
somebody had a dream like, honey, I want a house that has X, Y, and Z. So in my mind, I already dreaming up what I got when I go big, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I put in place
good.
daily to drive to have it, you know?
Yeah.
So that when I have my dog there or somebody comes to visit me that's going to do a fishing show, I can let them stay at my place, and we break bread, and we have it. My mom has a granny flat. So when I'm looking at their accomplishment, I'm not in awe of, wow, you really got it going on. I'm like, well, obviously you put the work in that it took to get this. So let me just keep on putting in that work.
Yeah,
you know?
I never hate on anyone that's extremely successful because they did something. You know, they did something. They were able to.
Better ask some questions. I ain't here to hate. Like, hey, what do you do, man? Let me get my little pen.
That's why I'm all about like this, like
game up real quick.
Yeah, it's like that's why I'm always trying to bring together a community, because it's like instead of hating, we could use each other to, you know, motivate, boost each other up,
encouragement.
People,
I got a message today, guys, like, thanks for your inspiring video, because I do my stories to inspire, you know, as I'm building my brand.
Yeah,
and
that's good. Adding a lot of value.
But it's just like you say, pouring into people.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, you know, you might just need that one day. Fuck this, and and then that's what helped me get started. Somebody said, why not me?
No, exactly, because that's what I think too. It's like, well, why can't I do it? You know, and investing in the people, that's like the best thing you can invest into.
Yeah. So just told me it's just encouragement. You know, it's not. I don't mean to do it to gloat or be inspiring. Just to give somebody the courage, if you take courage out of encouragement, to get on their grind or to do their passion. Because like I said, going full circle is if those people have those thoughts that we talked about, it's usually because they're doing stuff they don't want to do.
Exactly.
So if you could spark something in them to start putting that passion into what they really want to be doing, even if it's a half hour a day for a week, that's 3.5 hours a week. That's 12 hours a month. You add that up, right?
It adds up.
So if we could spark that with them and get them that encouragement to get started through what, you know, that little bit of encouragement and inspiration, I think that's what we're you know,
well, it's
the
true.
real ones are doing.
And then when you really realize, like, life isn't just to rot away at some job you hate.
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
Or
it's not
your
meant
thoughts
for that,
or your history. Me and my daughter were talking today, and I was telling her, because she's like, Dad, can't everybody be as positive as you are? I said, Unique, you know where I grew up and what I went through. And I was knocking down some cobwebs by a tree, and I said, like, this tree that can't move right now, these roots are stuck. This tree is not going nowhere unless somebody cuts it down or it falls over with the wind.
Yeah.
We're not like that. If you plant your roots where you're stuck, that's your decision. That's a decision that you're making.
Chose that,
for you to uproot and move along and get to where you want to soak your roots into somewhere. That's like metaphorically, but I was there telling her that. So again, my mindset of being gutter to being where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? I knew there was something better for me. I knew that to have generational wealth that I look for, looking in America, like that's what I like about the American patriotic thing, is that it's opportunity. It might be harder to get there, but if you just throw your pull stick down because your 8 ball is blocking you, that's it. But if you combine that, a little bit of encouragement with where we live at and doing the things that you passion, and you put some years into it, like we talked about, there's no reason anybody can't get to some success. And success to you is what it is that, you know, getting better every day is a success.
Exactly, because it's everyone's definition of what they find successful is different. So it comes down to what yours is. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason people come to this country.
Right.
As much as people talk shit about, it's like, dude,
ain't nobody breaking into Poland.
Why do you think people are willing to almost die? Like literally almost die to come here? It's because the opportunity that we have here.
Well, it's also opportunity, but then also think about what their living environment is again. So if you're thinking, oh, it's tough for me here.
Oh, imagine somewhere else.
Yeah, but you flip the script to see what they are going through. This is paradise. Your land of, it's against us, is somebody's land of opportunity. And you're sitting here squandering what you do have.
No, I see these people at the field over here, you know, by the shop. Mm-hmm. You know, they're probably, you know, they came from Mexico, obviously, and they came here and they're busting their ass. They're like legit busting their ass. And the reason they're doing that is because they want a better life for their kids. Mm-hmm. It's not for them.
And their kids, their grandkids.
It's for their kids is what they're doing. All the work they're doing is like they're out there 10 hours a day, basically sun up to sundown, picking fields. And you think they like that? Of course they don't like it.
Yep.
But they're doing it because they know it's going to set up their kids for success. Like it's not even about them anymore.
Right.
It's about their kids.
It's about a legacy.
It's a generational kind of thing that you've been talking about.
And setting a precedent. So look at that. You're showing your kids what hard work looks like, right?
Exactly.
Every day you're up before you're out to work. You're working all day, hard work.
Yeah.
So that you can see the alternative of that's why I need to stay on a grind because, you know, the way you're not. It's a perfect visualization.
It really
is. To see that worth ethic. And if you harness that and say, I'm going to take my opportunities to grow that because my parents are putting in that much hard work on their back.
Can't be wasting that.
Yeah. You gotta love it. So between that, brother, what you're talking about, that's what I think is so unique about Ventura County and where we're at. Because between the ocean that we're looking at, man.
Yeah.
And these hard workers and these fields, and now you can see how much commerce comes into our backyard through the port that we're talking about, is that you like for me that's just inspiration right in my face. So when I'm driving seeing them work hard, like, man, you got to get in 8 hours, you know. No, I can go push harder. So I use the little things. And again, I thought you had a term for it. It was like was it brain day? But my point is cheer brain day to me is saying how important it is to brainwash yourself with these different visualizations and books and YouTube and working out and reading it to make a gumbo of success. You know?
Yeah, that's why like you're saying, it's really important what you're putting into your brain. That's why you don't want to be listening. I don't really watch much news.
Oh, hell no.
Because it's so negative, and the people I know that watch a lot of news, they're not in a good mental place. They're really not.
Yeah.
I'm like living my best life, and these people are just like, everything is so terrible. And I'm like, yeah, because you're allowing that to get into your brain.
Yep.
And you don't want to like. There's no reason.
You can't even have a conversation with these.
No.
Because again, brainwashed. They're thinking their mind is
well, we're
in a realm that they're not even. You can't even penetrate, man.
Yeah,
so try to argue with that or try to make a point.
Well, the thing is, we're brainwashed too, but in a positive way.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they just got a different brainwash. Know, they got a different reel going through their mental.
Exactly, but
they're thinking.
So they're in this this victim mentality. Everyone's scared. Out to get them. They're scared.
Dude, I was Thanksgiving at my buddy's house, and I was trying to eat my plate, and the TV was on, and the lady gave like 8. Don't go Christmas shopping. If you go on the internet, they're gonna steal your identity.
Yeah, everything's bad.
Dude, I'm like, bro, like this.
There's a lot of things to be scared of, man.
Dude, for 10 minutes, all she did was like bring down the whole day. Like, can you? And then when something does come on that's lovely, it's like the last 30 seconds while they're cutting out. Oh, and by today, Jimmy was out at the local park and they were feeding the homeless, and then the credits are rolling, and Jimmy's like, yeah, we're out here.
They never. Yeah. There's like that's very rare. They might throw you a bone every once in a while.
That's
and have
like
a
the last
positive
30
story.
seconds on the way out. You know.
Yeah, no one's paying attention. You're too busy being afraid of like whatever thing, you know.
When I started doing film, the guy that was teaching us up here at Caps in Ventura, he worked in the news business. And their motto is if it bleeds, it leads.
Well, it's true, man.
So you're opening it up and it does it. So
people are attracted to negativity for some reason. They really are.
Jerry Springer was like, you know,
yeah,
the craziest show. Me myself, I'd rather watch Nat Geo, you know, check out some stuff like that. Discovery. I study my craft, so I watch like the Outdoor Channel to see what I'm doing. You know? But I'd rather watch the Food Network than I'm gonna watch some of that news, man, because
it's really bad,
it's
man.
Crazy, man.
It really is. You just see so much negativity and so much hate.
But see, I think that's just part of, man, something that's been philosophy for a while. It might have came on the Sunday paper in 1920 or 30 or 40, the front page news and stuff, but they've been using these types of tactics.
Oh, for sure.
For manipulation for people that don't want to think and be like us because they rather be secure and be employees than roll the dice and bet on themselves and be their own stock and put money into stock when you could do it. But if you start your day reading the obituaries and what happened, again, and me and you start our day with yoga or what you do with me in a book or us both, you know what I'm saying? We look for it that way. Is going to show how the parallels are just keep getting wider and wider. Well, but it's just something that's they've been using, and I mean them, you know what I'm saying? That's been a practice that's been out for probably since the Egyptians, man, on how you keep people, you know, fear.
Yeah, fear. But it's like, you know what? When your time's to go, your time's to go.
Right.
You can't control it. So it's like avoiding everything.
And what are you going to do with that little dash between when you got here and when you leave?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What does that dash represent?
Well, the thing is anyone going to remember you when you're gone? That's the real thing. Like, is anyone going to remember you? Like, if you... All right, we're back. So, technical difficulties.
Yeah, so I was just telling them that we're going to probably switch it up just because we're on this whole vibe of that energy. But just like... Let's try to spend a few minutes if we can, Patrick. You just like what? Let's give our viewers or your viewers or my viewers, listeners, like, you know, some words of encouragement, man. Like, what would you, you know, anything you just want to throw out there, or something that you know, just give them some nuggets on.
Yeah, well, my thing is that anything you're interested in, well, try a lot of things. That's what I am. I tell people try a lot of things to see what you like, because you don't even know what you like. Because I used to be very rigid. I'm like, I'm only doing this because I'm I liked this and I wasn't open-minded. But then I became more open-minded and I started noticing a lot of differences. But one thing that I'll say that was really it's really game-changing is if you're not getting the results you want in life, you're not around the kind of people, you don't have the right kind of friends, you're not dating the right kind of people that you like, everything's always negative. It's like you got to take a good look in the mirror and realize that you're the problem.
Self-inventory.
Yeah, because it's like you're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you don't have to crap on yourself for that, but you do have to acknowledge that this is an issue because that's how you improve and you can change your circumstances. But if you're in denial that it's you, then you'll never improve and you're going to stay in the same spot. So I'm a really big believer in taking responsibility for yourself and, you know, acknowledging like your faults so you can improve them.
That's what again about that funeral part and where I was living at that life is if one person calls you a jackass, it might be them. Second person calls you a jackass. Third person, yeah, you might need to, you know, you might be a donkey. I heard somebody say. And so that's what I had to do was some, you know, looking some self-inventory. And then as far as some advice, it would be like, yeah, use your imagination, be creative. Like you say, try it out. My daughter gave me this analogy when I started doing our photography that we're doing is, Dad, you know, you gotta test the first pancake. The first pancake always goes in the trash, right?
It's never
you gotta
good.
pour it on there, see if it's thick enough, it's gonna work, if there's enough butter on the pan. But you gotta be willing to sacrifice a couple pancakes, man. You know, give it a try. Don't be scared. Put it on the skillet, and that's what I think we got to do is use your creativity.
Right.
Just because it's never been done before, don't mean you can't do it. And give it a try. So once you do your self-inventory, like you said, responsible for what you do, because wouldn't you rather be responsible for doing some great shit, man?
Yes.
So
yeah, that's the thing too. It's just always kind of being like a child in a way, like a child mindset, a learner's mindset, beginner's mindset. And that's really big. You know, it's like always thinking there's something new to learn, even if you've done whatever thing 1,000 times. There's always a new thing to see. Because you know how many times I've learned so much stuff when I'm teaching other people things, and I'm talking through the steps, and then I'm learning also because like they're making me see it in a new way.
Well, that's the best way say to if you could teach it.
Yeah.
Good people like Tiger Woods could be great at golf.
Yeah.
But the guy, man, he's like, well, the way, you guys' style, the way it was in the 80s.
Yeah,
he's like, but Prince, you say how many honeys Prince pulled? Prince was the man because he might have had his blouse and doing his thing.
Yeah, it's a look.
But he was as masculine as they came. You knew that he had all the females. So I think that's your stilo.
You
that's
know,
why I came to mind. Like,
it is what it is.
Like Dr. Pepper, you got the sweet one.
Hey, I don't confirm or deny these kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all a true gentleman keeps everything low key.
That's it, right?
You know what I mean? Because I don't need to be putting it out there.
Nah.
People will know if they know, or they won't know if they don't know.
That's
it's
what
all
they say,
good.
right?
Yeah.
If you don't know,
hey,
you know.
If you're in the club, you know. If you're not in the club, you have no idea.
That's
it's all speculation.
That's it, man.
All right, but yeah, we're back. Camera, you know, we're just so hot. The camera keeps dying. You know,
what the problem is, baby.
Shit happens. You know,
all this heat up in here, man.
Yeah, it happens, dude. But yeah.
Well, yeah. If you want to wrap it up, man. I mean, I think we gave people. I mean, my name. If you're listening, my name's Kevin Brandon. I do Real Anglers Fishing Show. I do a nonprofit called Real Guppy Outdoors. I started doing photography, and that's where you can find me. Check us out on YouTube and stuff.
Well, let us know like what your links are and your Instagram handle and all that kind of stuff where they can find you.
So it's Real Anglers. Our brand is Real Angler Network, REEL, Real Angler Network, and that's Real Anglers Fishing Show, Real Guppy Outdoors. Everything is spelled REEL. Real Anglers Fishing Show, Real Guppy Outdoors, Real Radio. You can check out our podcast with fishing and other inspirational stuff. And then now I'm starting this thing called Real Pics.
Nice.
With my photography that's starting to take off. I use that as like a Kickstarter,
That's
taking
great.
pictures out in the field that I'm filming. And people just want to like, yeah, I'll buy those sunrise photos of you on the ocean. So I started slanging them and making some dough on that too.
Nice, man. Congrats on all that, by the way. And I appreciate you coming on the show, dude.
Yeah, and you'll see me. I'm talking with you. You got me the info for the farmers market, man. So we'll be neighbors out there down there in the farmers market. But again, for your listeners that I don't know how many other guests you have, but to give you props, man, of what you do, what I've seen you do. It was good to see you back at Gold's Gym so I can reconnect with you again because I knew you always been about your business. And the funny thing is that I told you right before I seen you, I thought about you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then you walk by there, I'm like, wait a minute. That's that God thing where you're like, wait a minute, man. You know, your boy, you ain't seen him in a minute.
Yeah.
And then you think about him, and then all this. It's like these new phones. You think about you want to do something, and then it shows up in your feed.
Hey, but you know what's cool? What I always think is a really cool thing is when you have like real relationships with people, real friendships with people. It doesn't even matter if you haven't seen each other in years. Like you literally pick up from like right where you were.
Right.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah,
It really
that's
is.
Me and you, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
out. Yeah, right in the middle of the spin class. Me and you just take on a conversation.
Yeah, I'm the worst at gold because I'm like, this takes less time.
What's up?
All right, man.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Like, I haven't even looked over there. I just
Oh,
looking, yeah.
oh, yeah.
I
So
forgot there was a monitor over there.
Yeah, it's all good. That's why I knew.
Been flexing more.
That's how. Well, that's how I knew. That's how I knew the thing was like dying on us.
That's right. Man,
but
some tries coming in right there.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Yeah, doing all right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on for sure.
I appreciate you having me,
thank you.
Yeah, and then when like I say we're doing my podcast right now, live right on this thing, but it'd be cool to get you on in our studio, man.
Definitely,
to bring you in.